listen to the spirit of the pirates. The spirit of the East is growing strong.
This is the Bill Lewis Show, an inside look at Pirate football with ECU head coach Bill Lewis and the voice of the Pirates, Jeff Charles.
ECU, you're looking good, so good to me. The spirit of the East.
The Bill Lewis Show is presented by Kentucky Fried Chicken, by John Deere, by Carolina Telephone, by Morgan Printers, by Pepsi, by S&K Famous Brands.
Pirates come to Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, Virginia. Come from behind, down 14-0 to post a very exciting 24-17 win over the Virginia Tech Hokies and make it 9 wins in a row. East Carolina now 9-1. Coach, we talked so much about playing for 60 minutes. You guys got behind, but never lost confidence, came back, and just a great win for you.
I can't say enough, Jeff, for a football team that has a heart, and they really do. And when you have a heart and you believe in yourself and each other, then anything truly can happen. We were down. Virginia Tech was playing extremely well. We weren't playing particularly as well as we would like to. There was some intensity missing in certain games, but there was never any doubts. There weren't any people on the sideline discouraged, no words of discouragement, and they just hung in and believed in themselves and were very patient. And I thought they turned their level of intensity up in the second half and found a way to win.
Jeff, in the first half, the passing game stalled some, but it seemed like in the second quarter late when you got to score, you started to figure out their defensive scheme a little bit better.
Well, they, as we talked all week, Jeff, they packed 9 people awfully close to that line of scrimmage. They did a nice job early, coming with a couple blitzes. They got matched up with good blitzes against our calls, gave us some pressure, got a couple sacks. And then as we kind of moved the ball but had no points, but we started to gain some confidence that we were moving the ball, and then to get that score right before the half was awfully big, because then everybody truly knew we were in this thing. We had a great opportunity to win it. And then I thought we did a tremendous job in the second half of throwing the ball inside on their defense, the crossing routes, the curls, and really did a nice job with that, along with the trap, and the trap option reappeared, the zone dive, and it was just 3 or 4 plays along with a real concentration on throwing the ball inside that got us moving.
It was a knockdown, drag-out affair, as it always is when the Pirates and the Hokies get together. Let's roll now those first half highlights. 64 degrees at kickoff time, 48,000 plus at Lane Stadium. Coach, we pick up action. The Pirates in their 3rd possession and a scoreless ball game.
Scoreless ball game, and Jeff Blake throws the ball, and it's intercepted here by Melendez Bird, their fine inside linebacker, and it puts Virginia Tech in their first scoring opportunity. Vaughn Hebron rips up the middle for 13 yards. They come right back here and throw incomplete in the corner of the end zone. The Steve Sanders, their wide receiver, and then on the very next play, Rod Wooten does a good job. He rolls to his right and finds their big tight end, Greg Daniels, who gets a step on our defender, Fred Walker, and he goes in for the first touchdown. We go 3 downs and punt, and they come right back, and on this drive, Jeff, I think you're going to see the strength of their line of scrimmage. This is Tony Kennedy. They just kind of play old hard-nosed, smash-mouth football and come right at us. Phil Bryant, their fullback, again, we're going to see some great job of blocking at the line of scrimmage on Tech's offensive line. Some real tough, hard-nosed running. This is Tony Kennedy again, making some people miss, and a big hit there by our free safety, Greg Grandison. They come back again to the fullback on what we call the belly play, and the inside of our defensive line, everybody led by Robert Jones and Bernard Carter stopping, but we had a face mask penalty. It takes it down inside the 10-yard line, and on 2nd down and goal, Tony Kennedy circles the corner. We kind of got our corner caught up inside, and they take a 14-0 lead at this point. We go back on offense and start with the trap play. David Daniels gets up in and gets 7 yards. Jeff comes back and pumps, goes short here to Clayton Driver, pumped deep and really did a nice job of holding the coverage. Clayton picks up 7 yards. We come right back to Hunter Gallimore. Great job of running after the catch. Hunter ends up with a 34-yard gain and kind of got tackled. The ground, they ruled the ground did cause the fumble there, so we're first down inside Virginia Tech territory for the first time. We go to Dion again. He makes somebody miss him at the line of scrimmage and picks up 7 yards. We come back on the option. Jeff pitches the ball to Dion, who does a nice job here and gets 9 yards. And this is the first real drive. We come back now off of the option pass, and John Granby, their corner, steps in front of the ball intended for Clayton Driver. Kind of a little bit of a miscommunication between Jeff and Clayton. Our defense does a nice job of coming out, though, taking control of the turnover, forced the punt, and we go right back on offense. And Luke Fisher, it's good to have Luke back, being able to play as much. He catches the ball for a big 23-yard first down. We go back to the other side. Jeff Blake to Deion Johnson, 23 more yards and another first down. And you just kind of get the feeling now, Jeff, that Jeff is starting to get his arm loosened up. Hunter Gallimore for 16 yards. We're down inside their 20 off of the quick pass and one of the controversial calls. A great job of Clayton Driver going up. It appears that he had a foot in. One official, you see right there, rules that it was a touchdown catch, but then an official on the back of the end zone ruled no catch. So we've got to go back and play again. Jeff goes incomplete to Hunter Gallimore, and then he does a nice job right here of finding Deion Johnson, who manages to get the ball about a foot inside the goal line. And that brings the score to 14-7. And more than that, Jeff, it gave us some momentum. We held Virginia Tech on their last possession. We go 14-7, but with a lot of momentum, a lot of real good feelings as we go into the locker room at halftime.
We talk about it each week, but scores going into halftimes are so very, very big. And, Coach, you got that pass reception from Deion Johnson, got you on the board, really got you back in the game at halftime.
It really did, and I think it picked up the whole spirit of our football team. We went in at halftime. We talked about the fact that we were exactly what we knew we were going to be in. One heck of a battle. I spent some time talking about the intensity of our defense. I didn't think we were tackling, really swarming the ball quite as well, and then patience. And the key to the second half, as we'll see, was patience.
And we'll be back with those second half highlights right after this timeout. The Hokies lead the Pirates 14-7 as we begin the second half. And, Coach, it was no surprise. Virginia Tech just lined up, and they like to rush the football. That's what they did. And I know you had to feel you had to find a way to stop their rushing game.
We really didn't. We knew it was going to be a physical game coming in. I thought that they did exactly what they wanted to do, try to shorten the game by ball control. They've got one of the better offensive lines in football. They've got some backs that are hard-nosed, hit it up in there. And they really were playing the game, I think, the way they wanted it to play. And until we really started to come on offensively, you kind of had the feeling that they had the game going much the way they wanted it to.
Let's go now to those second half highlights.
Guys, if it's really important to you, you'll put your heart in it, you'll believe in yourself and each other, and you'll find a way to win. If it's really important to you, you will find a way to win. It's as simple as that. All right? And you're going to have to grab a hold of them and stay a hold of them until you beat them on the last play of the game. Everybody get a hand in.
Virginia Tech gets possession as we begin the second half. Coach, a sustained drive. They start at their own 20 and take it all the way down to the Pirate 4-yard line.
And it's first and goal, Jeff, and Rod Wooten throws out here to the flat to Bo Campbell, and Richard Wright really does a nice job of breaking the ball up, bringing about a second down and goal. And then we're going to see one of the key plays of the game where they try to go to their tight end in the seam. Greg Grandison picks it off, and with a convoy of blockers outruns their quarterback right there. Rod Wooten, you saw him dive. And Greg goes 95 yards, mighty excited. Anthony Brenner comes in, adds the kick, and we tie it at 14-14. Jeff, our defense goes right out and holds them, and we get the ball following the punt. Jeff Blake runs the option, cuts up for about 3 yards, and the option became a big part, the trap and trap option of the second half. Again, one of the big key plays is Luke Fisher at the receiving end of a 41-yard pass from Jeff. We split their two-deep zone coverage. Great throw, great touch throw by Jeff. Tremendous catch by Luke. We go back and try to throw the fade route that's been so good to us, and their corner does just a great job of getting his hand on the ball, and we come back with Damon Wilson on the sprint draw play. Damon gets 2 tough yards, and then Jeff on third down has the ball batted down at the line of scrimmage. The ball does hit the ground, and Anthony Brenner comes in, and from 39 yards out, Anthony gets the ball through the uprights, and we take our first lead of the day, 17-14. And we see some of the great crowd there and the tremendous support that we have. And Tech goes right back on offense. Vaughn Hebron, their fine running back, picks up 7 yards, bringing about a 2nd down and 3. And then another one of the big turnovers. Rod Wooten tried to throw the quick pass. Our underneath coverage, Jerry Dillon does a nice job of forcing him to go to the second receiver. He overthrows it. Chris Hall picks it off. We've got good field position and go right back to work. Jeff goes over the middle here to Hunter Gallimore. Hunter gets 11 yards and a 1st down. And this was one of the big things in the second half is our ability to throw the ball inside. Clayton Driver again, big catch for about 11 yards and a 1st down. That was a 3rd down and 10 play. Clayton got just a yard beyond the sticks. Jeff again off of the drop back. This time a nice job of scrambling, but unfortunately we were detected, Jeff, for holding in the backfield, almost 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That ended up being a 20-yard penalty. So we go back to a 1st down and about 30. We go to Luke Fisher on a crossing route. Luke gets back about 13 yards of it. And our drive stalls. Anthony comes in and attempts a rather long 51-yard field goal. Some tough winds in that stadium. It missed to the left, and Tech goes right back on offense. And here they come with Tony Kennedy. And all day, Kennedy impressed me with not only his speed, but the strength of his running ability. They now go outside to the quick pass, and we see Fred Walker run out of bounds, but then we get detected for a late hit on the sideline, so a 15-yard gain and a 15-yard penalty tacked on, and they're really back hammering Phil Bryant, their fine fullback, off of their belly play. Tony Kennedy takes the isolation, does a nice job of bouncing it off the corner before Chris Hall gets him down. Our defense does a nice job of stiffening there, and they bring in Ryan Williams, as you mentioned, Jeff, probably the biggest field goal kicker at 6'4", almost 250 pounds, and he kicks the long field goal to tie it at 17-17. We're into the 4th quarter. We're into the wind. We try to go on what we call a hot route to Dion. The defender got there a little bit early, gave us a pass interference call, automatic 1st down. We go back and run the option, pitch it to Cedric Van Buren. Cedric gets 7 tough yards. Jeff this time sprints, finds Dion up in the seam. Dion picks up 16 yards and takes some real punishment at the end of that run. And I'm not so sure that wasn't one of those that might have been a little bit late. And then one of the key receptions of the game is Dion, ball got caught up in the wind and came down a little bit short. Dion goes up and out jumps the defender, and then watch the great second effort here by Clayton Driver. Catches the ball on about the 4-yard line, splits 2 defenders, manages to keep his balance, get into the end zone for what proves to be the winning score. And then on our next possession, Jeff Cook bats the ball at the line of scrimmage. Mark Washington intercepts it and gives us an opportunity to really take some valuable time off the clock. David Daniels hits up inside for 4 tough yards. They come back with Jeff throwing outside to Clayton. Clayton picks up the 1st down. Got it by just a matter of a couple inches. The drive stalls there, and then a real critical error, but a big play in the game that I thought needed to be shown was they came in, blocked our punt. Jerry Dillon did recover it, but it goes back to Virginia Tech. And then with the ball right at midfield, I thought our defense does a great job. Bernard Carter sacks their quarterback on 1st down. Then off the draw play, a play that had been successful. Robert Jones, Kenny Burnett, Zion Kumalai, Greg Grandison all bringing down after about a 2-yard gain. And they try to go back to Kennedy. We got Jerry Dillon stops him there for almost no gain. And then on 4th and 8, tries to throw the ball out here to Bo Campbell, and a great play by Chris Hall to break it up. We managed to go out and kill the last minute or so in the ball game and come away with a hard-fought 24-17 victory.
95-yard return you just saw by Greg Grandison for a touchdown. Coach, it really turned the momentum of the game around, one of the big plays of this special year.
Well, it really was, because it got us back even. We started the whole brawl all over again. That play, our ability to score in the 4th quarter to go ahead, and then following their block of our punt, our defense went out. They went for it on 4th down. They make a total of 2 yards on that series. It ended up 4th and 8, incomplete. There's no one single play, but Greg's play is awfully big because, like I say, it got us back even. We can now start the whole game over again. But then to see all phases of the game come together and find a way that, you know, to make the plays that they had to win is so gratifying.
2 different styles of offense today. Virginia Tech just likes to line up and try and run it down your throat. You guys like to spread the field and throw the ball. Today, the passing game won.
Well, I guess the passing game won. We had some traps and some options in there that helped, but that's our game, and that's their game. And I've always believed that the bigger the football game, the more you go with the things that you believe in, the things that get you there. They hammer at you. They stayed with that. We throw the football. We stayed with that because we believe that's the way you got to move the football. Both teams, good special teams. I thought, again, our punt coverage was excellent against the #1 punt returner in college football. So it was just collectively a great effort in all the areas of the game.
Brian Bailey will be in the locker room as this incredible season continues right after this time. East Carolina and Virginia Tech, what a great rivalry it has become. Players are recruited by both of these schools. It's just developed into one of the true rivalries in this part of the country. A special win for the Pirate players today. And our Brian Bailey now goes inside the locker room.
Thanks, Jeff. Just outside the Pirate locker room, Greg Grandison makes the big play that turned the entire game around. Virginia Tech is driving for what would have been a key touchdown in the game. Grandison steps in and gets the interception, goes for the touchdown. Tell us about the play. What was your read like, and when did you know you were going to score?
Well, we were in goal line hot, and they just ran the 2 twin receivers toward the end zone as decoys, and they tried to swing the tight end underneath the covers. And I looked the quarterback all the way. I read the quarterback eyes, and, you know, he looked at the tight end. I just, jumped the tight end immediately. I guess he didn't see me because he threw the ball, and I just stepped in front of him. I think going, in the second half, they were driving me, and we were still flat. And I think we needed some momentum, and I think that play kind of swung the momentum in our favor.
Luke, talk about what it means to you. You're out there playing in pain, giving it all you got. You made a clutch catch out there today.
Thanks. Oh, it's one of the greatest wins I've ever had. It's meant a lot to me, and I'd rather definitely go into a bowl 9-1 than 8-2 or something like that. And I think that our seniors and our coaches have done a great job all year, and this is just a great feeling.
Did you guys ever get down at all? Because once again, it was a bend but don't break defense.
Yeah, I don't think we got down. It was more the fact that it just took that. The situation, which was down by 14, just to get us pumped up, I guess you could say.
It just feels great. I mean, we've worked really hard, and it feels great that we've won 9 straight games, and we've accomplished a lot. And tomorrow, hopefully, we'll accomplish our second goal.
Oh, Brian, it just means so much for the total university. It means, obviously, you can't put it in words what it means to the program, what it means to these young kids. These young people are, first and foremost, they've done some amazing things. And then I'm so happy for our fans and our alumni who've hung in there. It's just a great day for East Carolina University.
Is it official yet, or you got to wait till tomorrow?
3 o'clock, Brian. Most of the mystery, though, is well gone out of it. But we're going to be able to reward these players, and certainly they deserve it.
Are we going to have some peach pie tomorrow, perhaps?
I know, it's been a peachy day.
We've talked so much about the passing game. Jeff Blake's had just a superb year for the Pirates this year, but he has to have guys to throw to and coach your receivers again in the Virginia Tech game and all season long. What a great job they've done.
They really have 2 things. They've done a great job of getting open, and then they've done a great job of catching catchable balls. And I think that, the offensive line of scrimmage, they're responsible for getting the quarterback time to throw it. Once Jeff throws it, it's in the hands of the receivers, and we've done a great job. We've dropped so few balls and have such a good feel for getting open and making plays, and I can't say enough collectively for that whole group of receivers, including our tight ends.
Our Todd Gibson files this report on the ECU Pirate wide receivers.
Talk about coming out of nowhere. The East Carolina wide receivers have had an incredible season, catching 20 of ECU's 26 touchdown receptions. That number rivals any in the nation. Miami, Florida State, Florida. This group doesn't need to take a back seat to anyone.
Overall, this is probably the best group that I've ever been around from bottom to top because it doesn't matter who you put in the football game, we've gotten production out of them. You know, we've played with basically 5 guys the entire year, and we haven't had anybody that's been seriously injured, and every time we've put someone in a position to make a play, they've made that play for us.
Making the play is what Clayton Driver has done all year long. Driver has made the fade pattern an art form. Jeff Blake throws it up there, Driver hauls it in.
I think it's just increased confidence between Jeff and the receivers and us and Jeff because you know, last year we dropped a couple balls in crucial situations, and this year we're just making those plays. The balls are bouncing our way. It's been there when we been open, and you know, it started back in the spring because we had a very good spring, and it's giving coaches confidence to know that we can throw the ball.
The success story of the year is being turned in by former walk-on Hunter Gallimore. Coming into the Tech game, Gallimore led the team in catches, yards, and touchdowns.
All during last spring and then during 2 days, we've you know, we've thrown the ball a lot during practice, and Coach makes us run a lot of routes, and we work hard with Jeff each day during practice, and I think that's what's paid off the most.
The big play receiver for the Pirates is again Deion Johnson. The junior college transfer can turn a game around with a single catch. Johnson says he's having fun, catching passes, running reverses, and helping his teammates.
Yeah, the receivers are together this year. Every time one of us do a good job, we're giving each other a hand. So most of all, we together, and that's what counts.
And this group can certainly count. They know how to get to 6 as well as any in the nation. Reporting for the Bill Lewis Show, I'm Todd Gibson.
Our CT&T student of the game is Pirate baseball player Pat Watkins. A sophomore on Coach Gary Overton's team, Watkins has a 3.15 GPA in his general college major. We're pleased to salute Garner's Pat Watkins, this week's CT&T student of the game. Well, it's really incredible to keep things in perspective. The Pirates have won 9 games in a row, 9-1. I'm sure they'll move up a little bit in the polls again this week. So much talk about bowls, of course, and of course we'll have some announcements on Sunday about that. Coach, it's hard to believe you've still got to play the Cincinnati Bearcats coming up next week.
Well, that's really the important thing. I think something good's going to happen to our football team tomorrow, Jeff, and they certainly deserve whatever that might be. But it's really critical that we focus on the Cincinnati game and have an opportunity. This football team will now, I believe, have a chance to be the first East Carolina team ever to win 10 football games. They moved alongside of 9 other teams that have won 9, and I think they share that moment in history with those guys. Now they have an opportunity to do something that no other team has done, and I just have a good feeling that they'll come back and focus on Cincinnati, finish in the regular season. Then we can deal with whatever else is waiting for us after that.
Coach, it was just a great win. Congratulations again.
Thanks so much, Jeff.
That's Coach Bill Lewis. Pirates still have 1 game at Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati. That's coming up next week. We'll be back with our Bill Lewis Show again next week following the final regular season game of the year against Cincinnati. Have a good week, everybody.
He said, you look so good to me.
The Bill Lewis Show has been presented by Kentucky Fried Chicken, by John Deere, by Carolina Telephone, by Morgan Printers, by Pepsi, by S&K Famous Brands.